you have to understand why you're there.
Mm.
And you have to understand that because you are there, you deserve to be there. And then you have to understand that the person who brought you there, for me, it's God, right? Put you there because everyone else is supposed to listen. I'm supposed to give a speech. I get there, stand at the podium, and then I blank out. In front of the whole school, bro. Whole school, right? Yeah. I blank out. I'll never forget this. I blank out. I stutter. Yeah. So people start laughing. But I've realized that in entrepreneurship, dog, I don't say I have a better chance of winning. I'm saying that I'm going to win. And I'm going to win my way.
Welcome to another episode of Sounds Good Enough. Today I have a public speaker and other range of things that I'm sure you'll get to tell us. His name is Chidi. For the people who are watching, would like to know, who is Chidi?
Great question. So I like to think that fine. Oh, yeah. So who's Chidi, man? That's Chidi is, and I like to always put this first. I am the head of the Amadi Ahaneku family, and I put this first because I think this is where my identity stems from. You know, not only just as Chidi a person, it's Chidi a leader. It's Chidi a person who makes sure that he takes care of his own. It's Chidi, you understand? So I think putting that first, as Chidi, the head of the Amadi Ahaneku, is a podcaster, is a person who loves love, is a person who is this question, as a person who strives, man, who believes in the impossible, and that's who I am, and who I always try to be. Chidi who believes in the impossible.
Okay. You Nigerian?
Yes, Nigerian. Igbo.
Yeah. The reason why I say so, because I actually do have a friend. His name is also Chidi.
Really?
Yeah. When I started, like, oh, Chidi.
Yeah. It's actually the first time I know someone who knows a Chidi.
Really?
Yeah.
But you're the second Chidi I know, so I can't really say that.
I get that.
Yeah. Main question, I think everybody would like to know this. Is motivational speaking speeches just like a quick high? You know, like how people would say, like, they just motivate you for the moment, but it doesn't sustain you. Like, what do you think about that? Like when people say that?
So I want us to clarify first. I am not a motivational speaker.
Okay.
Yes, I'm a keynote speaker.
What's the difference?
So the difference is a keynote speaker is more industry focused. So I niche down into business, right? And then a motivational speaker motivates in different places. I do motivate when I speak, but a motivational speaker focus solely on motivating. I don't focus on. I teach. Okay. So I teach people how to run, how to sell, how to speak now. That's what I'm going into now. Yes.
So basically, you don't get there and be like, "You can do it." The power's in there. You are more like, "Okay, let's. How do we do business? Like, in the business setting, how do you conduct yourself? How do you speak with? How do you command a room?" And
Yes. I think, dog. This is so beautiful. I love talking about speaking, man, because I think that one of the best things about speaking is platform, right?
Sure.
And purpose. So it's two things, platform and purpose. And my purpose is to teach, but in teaching, I understand that I have to motivate people to learn. You understand? So that's why I can say that I'm a keynote speaker, but still motivate. Because the first thing I'm always going to do is motivate you to learn.
Sure.
Because when you get there and you know that you can do it and you know that you can strive for something bigger, then we come back to, let me teach you to get to the something bigger.
Okay.
You understand?
Right.
So that's how it goes.
So you do both at the same time.
Yes.
You get them to that mood and then you actually give them the knowledge to be able to. Okay. But speaking about speaking, right?
Yeah.
How do you speak with confidence? Like, how do you get into a room? Because, like, it's for a lot of people, just speaking in front of people is it's kind of scary. You know, you're afraid like you might say the wrong things, or you might not seem. You know, I don't know, like a whole slew of reasons why people don't have confidence. So how do you go about it yourself?
Which is funny. So today, before coming here, I had a consultation. So on my way here, I was on this consultation, and this person was asking the very same thing, right? How do I come there, and how do I exude confidence? How do I show up? And my answer to this is very simple, man. It's complex and simple at the same time, right? So what happens is you first have to understand why you're there. And you have to understand that because you are there, you deserve to be there. And then you have to understand that the person who brought you there, for me, it's God, right? Put you there because everyone else is supposed to listen.
Okay.
You understand?
Yeah.
So those are the three things that I stand on every time. So firstly, I'll get there and I'll go, why am I here? So I told you, purpose is important. I teach, man. I love to teach. I always strive to teach. And that's one thing that I want to be the very basis of my life. And then after understanding that, then I understand that, do I deserve to be there?
No.
I've worked very hard. I've put in the work, man. I've went to places that I never thought I could based on hard work. So I know that when I get into a space and I'm supposed to speak, I deserve to be in there. Not only because of what I've done, but also because of dedication to the craft. I dedicate myself to the craft. In fact, from the past 2 months, I've been writing a keynote every single day. You understand? And that's been something that I've been placing in my heart and dedicating myself. So I know when I get into the room, I deserve.
Yeah.
Then the last one is God. God brought me there. And because God brought me there, people are supposed to listen.
Sure.
And people are going to listen.
Yeah.
So now if I get there, I cannot shy away. I cannot stand back. I cannot try and hide the light that God has placed upon me. And you know what, man? I've realized that confidence is I don't want to say confidence is an art. You get to that place after understanding the art of how can I put this? So confidence is an art, right? And to get to the point of confidence, there are small things that you have to do. So it's a journey, right? And in that journey, these things are things like your people. My people are important to me. Those are the people that affirm me all the time. Those are the people. There's a friend of mine. She's heard every keynote of mine before I go out. And she's the one that says, trash. And I trust her and I change. And when I get to the top, when I get to the front and speak, I understand that I have my people who have supported me, my people who have looked into what I'm saying. Do I believe in what I'm saying? So all of this just comes into the art of confidence. Then when I get there, I speak what I say. I speak what I know that is correct. I speak what I know that is my experience. I never lie on the platform. That's it.
So how do you, like, as someone who doesn't have the people around them that can give them that kind of a way, like a review, like, okay, what you did there, okay, let's do this, let's try to change that. Let's like I'm just myself, and I don't have other people to give me that. Like, how do I then go about, crafting myself to be that final product that is confident?
That's a good question, man. That's a good question. Doing. Sometimes my mom always says we start somewhere. And the only reason we have a history is so that someone else can tell our story. That's what she always says, right? And start, dog. When you start, it's so beautiful. I didn't necessarily study. I have a law degree. You understand? I didn't study to be a speaker, but I had to start somewhere, right? I remember this time, the moment when I knew that I was supposed to be a speaker was, so it was English class. I think it was grade 10 or something, English class. And I was supposed to give a speech, right?
Sure.
And my speech was titled, "One Man Can Change the World." While I'm giving the speech, so I stand in front before I give the speech, I stand in front and first thing I do is I look around the room. Right? This is not my first speech. I'll tell you the story of my first speech. This is not my first speech. This is after my first speech. And I stand in front of the room and I start. So the song plays, right? One Man Can Change the World by Big Sean. It plays. And then I start speaking. I greet the room. I take a deep breath. I take a chair. I put it in front of me. I stand on the chair. I get on the table. And that moment, dog, that very moment was when I knew that I have to do this for life. This is me. This is what I'm supposed to be doing, right? And I get what you're saying. Where I started, my first speech was in grade 7. I was the head boy. And we just came back from prefect camp in front of the whole school. I'm supposed to give a speech. I get there, stand at the podium, and then I blank out. In front of the whole school, bro. Whole school, right? Yeah. I blank out. I'll never forget this. I blank out. I stutter. Yeah. So people start laughing. Then I couldn't say anything else. Then the headmaster comes in and then he takes over. He's like, okay, stand to the side. Most embarrassing time in my life. That break was crazy, bro. Yo, it was crazy.
Yeah.
But that's where I started. That's my story. And as I go, you meet those people. The people that I've met in the rooms that I've placed myself in, that I forced myself to be into, And those are the people I have now. And I can say that those are the people that just review me. But if you want to start alone. You understand? It's okay. You get it. You get it. At some point you get it, but start. And just get it. That's what I think.
Yeah, I can imagine like that moment. I think even for me would have made me be scared to do it ever again.
Yeah.
It's like, this is embarrassing. I embarrass myself in front of school, and like how mean kids.
Yeah.
Forever.
Hey, in primary.
It's ingrained in everyone's memory. I wouldn't. But the fact that you use that moment to like in a way encourage yourself to like, you know what, let me practice, let me become better, and here you are today.
Yeah. Funny enough, I actually didn't speak for until grade 10 for the next 3 years.
Sure. Like in front of people.
Yeah. No, not really in front, because in school we had to, but other than wanting to, like the speeches after that were trash.
Yeah.
You understand? They were trash, dog. I used to read, I used to, mess around, but my mother, dog, she's the one that always told me, speak. Go out. I was afraid. I grew up a very anxious and fearful kid, and she's the one who always said, go speak for yourself. She always used to say, leave, go and go out of your comfort zone, go out of the space. If you're afraid, she'd push you. And I used to never understand it. I used to hate it. That why are you putting me through this difficult time, But when I was speaking to her recently, she told me that there's a reason why she did that. And she sees that who I am now is because of the little training I got. So my training didn't start when I was in front of 2-3 people speaking. My training started with these little instances where I had to go out of my comfort zone. And that's it. So it hit me hard, but I stepped up.
Okay.
I stepped up.
So I also saw that you're into entrepreneurship.
Yes.
Is your entrepreneurship in a way of the things that you are doing right now, like the Keynote? I don't know if my question makes sense, but
I don't understand. Repeat it.
I'm saying it in my head and I can't hear myself. What am I saying? Okay, so what entrepreneurship do you actually do?
Okay. So
put it that way.
Yeah, I've been an entrepreneur for close to a decade now, right?
Decade?
Yeah, I started very young. No.
Jeez.
I started very young, and it's almost a decade now, and I've had a lot of businesses. I think I've had almost 13 businesses now. Tried, they failed. And now the companies that I currently have is Iconoclast. So Iconoclast is a consultation and mentorship and incubation company. And I have another company. I'm founder of Embryo. The Embryo is a platform. It's an app. We're still building it right now. And what it does is that it helps pregnant women throughout their pregnancy stage. You understand? So we walk them through a tailored journey whereby they get information that is tailored to who they are. So other than that,
That's actually a
again,
really good idea.
yeah, dog,
That's
you know,
really a good idea.
it's crazy. We'll get into it. We'll get into it. But the other one is that now I'm focusing my interest on small businesses, right? I'm not trying to grow big businesses anymore. I'm trying to grow small businesses. It's the power of multiples, a lot of small businesses. And that's what I'm trying to run. I'm trying to build an empire in the hood. You understand? So that's the type of entrepreneurship that I have. I'm already 3 businesses in. The goal is that by the end of the year, we are going to be at 6 businesses. And then it's a business every month.
Sure.
Yeah. So that's the type of entrepreneurship that I do.
Okay. That's interesting. So, you know why I'm saying that's so interesting with pregnancy?
Yeah.
I was actually talking to a sister of mine. She was telling me that when she was, when she got pregnant, she wanted to go through like different books and whatnot. And she found it to be so overwhelming. She's like, you know what? I'm just gonna just do my thing because this book is saying this book is saying this. That might not necessarily be like catered to me.
Yeah.
So in that regard, like something that's just catered to that person themselves. Wonderful idea.
Yeah, man. And I know I'm a guy and this question always comes out, but the one thing that we cannot run away from is pregnancy is difficult. You understand? It's a difficult thing, even though we cannot understand it, but that's something, that's something that we can all agree on, and on top of that, you cannot have the lack of information is another problem. You understand? That's what we're trying to solve. That firstly, you cannot have a lack of information. Then you cannot have generalized information. You can't just find everything that talks about everything. You understand?
It's not a one size fit all.
It's not. And it takes time. So I have to take care of myself. She has to take care of herself during pregnancy. You understand? And the journey is very difficult. So I looked at that and I thought, because I come from the hood, man, and in the hood, right now, what I'm seeing is that there's a lot of little kids who are having babies. And I'm sure they don't know how to go about that. I'd imagine that's traumatic, dog, So that's the reason I started it as well. That these people don't have access to the information. These people do have phones. I've seen them use their phones. You understand? So I'm trying to create a solution that can be accessible to them. That give me or give her a source, dog. A source to always go to. Something to trust. Something to know that it is about you. It speaks to you as a person. You understand? And it speaks to your journey in pregnancy. But yeah, that's what we're trying to do.
Ask you some silly questions. Hopefully, don't worry, relax, nothing crazy. And this doesn't, how can I put it? Doesn't project like who you are. It's just again like silly questions, right?
Okay.
First question. It's a would you rather kind of question. First question. Would you rather end racism or become as rich as Warren Buffett?
Whoa.
Silly, right?
Yeah.
Simple, silly, yeah.
So either end racism or become as rich as Warren Buffett.
Yeah.
I want that bag, eh? But nah, end racism, bro.
You'd end racism.
Yeah, I've experienced it deeply, and and also if I end racism, then I could probably be as rich as Warren Buffett.
I mean, true.
Exactly.
True. That's also another way of looking at it.
Yeah.
You become as rich as Warren Buffett, and you can invest in campaigns and racism. That's another way of looking at it.
Oh,
you see what I mean?
I get that.
Yeah.
I get that. That's
also
fine.
Another way of looking at it.
Okay.
Okay. And the second question: would you rather relive any childhood, like your favorite childhood memory, or get a glimpse of your last day on Earth?
Last day.
Yeah. Just a glimpse,
bro. Just last day. Because, I'm not trying to go back.
But it's like your favorite childhood memory. Like, every time they ask you about your childhood and you think about it, you're like, oh, those were the good old days.
Yeah, but dog, imagine the last day.
What if it's horrible?
Hey, that's the thing. That's the problem. It's a risk I'm willing to take. It's a risk I'm willing to take. The last day, man. I want to see who I am there.
Okay.
You know?
Okay. Yeah. I think.
What would you do?
I don't wanna see how I go out, man.
Really?
Yeah. If it happens, like I wanna just have it happen.
Oh yeah.
I don't wanna spoil my future. I don't know what's gonna happen in the future.
Yeah. Doesn't it give you anxiety that you don't know, bro?
About my future?
Yeah.
I think it'll give me more anxiety knowing.
To know it. Oh,
yeah.
I get
Like,
that.
what if I'm like super sick and alone and stuff?
Oh man,
apartment and no one wants to.
Yeah.
I don't have any family. Like now, I have to live with the thought like
for the rest of your life,
this might happen to me. No, I'd rather not know. I want to live right now in the moment, and obviously plan for the future. Obviously, have to plan, but I wanna be here, right here, in this moment. Okay. Last one.
Yeah.
Is every toothbrush or underwear you buy is a used one. Right? You can't buy any new ones. Or randomly in a day, during the day, your clothes disappear for like 10 seconds.
For 10 seconds.
Disappear.
Oh man. Oh.
Yeah.
Randomly 10 seconds.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I'd take the 10 seconds.
10 seconds.
Yeah.
Imagine you're doing your keynote and they come in.
Imagine. Yeah, no, but a used toothbrush, bro.
I mean, you can always I don't know, bro. The thought is
it's crazy, dog. But yeah, actually, I'd take the toothbrush. 10 seconds.
Again, there's different ways of looking at it.
Yeah,
right?
how would you look at it?
The whole thing of your clothes disappearing, it could be like you can use it as a gimmick.
Yeah,
famous.
Yeah.
Like any moment now, it could happen. You're just sitting, having dinner with some girl, and
then I'd make it alive. I'd actually just document my entire life.
Yeah,
cool.
So there's always like good ways of looking at it. Yeah.
I like the way you look at it. Though. Yeah. I like the way you look at it. Yeah. You think about this a lot, bro.
I do. Bro.
I get that. Yeah,
running with you.
I get that. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Now let's get back to it. You also sell tech, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that? I mean, you can sell different things, right? That's because you're in a way like Keynote and salesman in a way, but like, why specifically tech?
The future. Yeah, I want to play a crazy part in the future. Not only do I want to be the best speaker in the world, I also want to be the most recognized entrepreneur to ever exist. So people like
Steve Jobs.
Steve Jobs, everyone looks to Steve Jobs for one of the best businesses to ever be built. So I want to do that. And I think not the only way, but one of the best ways to do it is going to be tech. And AI is coming out now, right? And it's coming up.
AI is coming up.
Yeah.
I use AI every single day.
Exactly.
Every single day. Like,
AI
is,
it's going to be a huge part of our lives. So instead of running away from it, because there are people who run away from it. Yeah. I go to it, and the app, Embryo, is based really on AI, right? Machine learning as well. And I just I know there's going to be a time where this is going to be, the biggest thing to ever happen to the world. And imagine if I was to be one of the first people or one of the group to be, to have had it. Look at Bitcoin, bro. Think about the people who got Bitcoin for the first maybe 2-3 years. Now, Bitcoin is crazy.
It's expensive.
Exactly. So I realized that there's an importance in getting to things quicker. Some people are not great, not great, but some people are not smart. Some people are not different or special. Some people just got in quicker,
True.
Yeah. So I think I'm great. I truly believe it. But now you get that being great and being quick. It's
some windows of opportunity open and they shut, and if you don't miss them.
Exactly.
Yeah. Like there's a lot of things. Funny enough, I was actually talking to a friend of mine.
Yeah.
In regards to like, the whole like YouTube space, and I was if we had gotten in a bit earlier, we would have been like the leading,
True.
because we had these ideas, but at the same time we're like, should we do it? Should we not do it?
Yeah.
But it's also never too late.
True.
Because there's always gonna be a gap.
Yeah.
You know, sure, like you missed the first window, and the structure's already, the business is already running. This is already an idea, but there's always gonna be a gap. Right?
Yeah.
I'll give an example. I think it's called the Zero phone, if I'm not mistaken.
Zero.
It's like a replica of the iPhone, but it's like the iPhone aesthetic and everything, but with everything like that everyone has been complaining about with the iPhone, right? Like the battery power, the speed, the charging, just also being cheap as well. It's a very cheap replica of an iPhone. It's the Zero phone, something like that. If I'm not, nothing phone. It's either the Zero or the nothing phone.
Yeah.
You guys confirm with me.
Yeah.
So in a way, those guys filled in that gap. Like you want that iPhone speed and everything, but you can't afford it. Here's the nothing phone. Here's the Zero phone. So there's always gonna be a gap. Somehow. So
yeah.
And
on top of that, I think there's always going to be a gap, but it's also about time. You know, I think with me, this is how I look at my life. I have 10 years to be a billionaire.
Okay.
Right? And my 10 years is set. I cannot dedicate myself, man. I cannot. And I always say, I cannot dedicate myself as much as I am for 10 years and not be a billionaire. Then come on, man, you know? So that's how I look at it. That's the goal. And then the more I slack, the more my 10 years keeps moving back. You understand? So if my 10 years now is what? 2024, I'm guessing what? 34, right? 2034. If that's my 10 years, if I slack, it's now 2035. And that's just how it is. So there are people who started earlier, but there are some things that are just, they are a consequence of consistency. And the YouTube space is that as well. You understand? You put in as much for 10 years. Imagine if you do this for the next 10 years, you're bound to be found by someone. You're bound to blow up. You understand? So that's the thing. I think it is about like getting in earlier, but the whole thing of getting in earlier is just that so that you are getting in the time. You understand? And you are putting in the work and the consistency. So it's school fees. Basically, you understand?
What do you say to people who have been putting in that work for that 10 years but have not seen any results?
Exactly. Great question, bro. Great question. My chat is, I'm very big on self-aware. Dog, I change consistently and quickly, you know? And I'm always going to sit down and think, like, for example, I told you that I'm going into the multiples business, right? The small businesses, but a lot. That's not how I decided I wanted my life to be. In fact, the top of the year, like in January, that was not my plan. But I got to see the space that I was in, which is consultation. Consultation is a difficult space, bro. Because it's all on network, to be honest. You understand? It's always on network, and word of mouth is a big chat. So even with that, I'm not yet popular, right? I'm still building my network heavily. Simultaneously, there's something else that can get me closer to that 1B. You understand? And that's the thing. So if it's 10 years and you haven't gotten there, sit down, reevaluate. But trust me, it's not 10 years that's wasted, bro.
You learn something.
Exactly. You learn. If I say I've been in business for a decade, for almost a decade, then you can see, dog, there are things that I can just see through. I used to listen to a lot of people who want investments, right? Entrepreneurs. And you could just see through a person, is this really a person that can do it? You know, and is this business really going to work? And sometimes I see this a lot. A lot of investors be like, they hear you for the first 5 minutes and say, nah, bye.
Yeah.
Right? And it's not because necessarily that the idea is always trash. Yeah. It's just that because of the experience they have, they've seen that it can't work. You understand?
Yeah.
So that's the chat. So evaluate, be self-aware a lot. Be very self-aware. And don't be stubborn, bro. Don't be
Change.
stubborn. Change.
Yeah, to change.
That's the best. That's the only thing we have. You can change. You're not a rock. You're not a tree.
No.
Move, dog. You know? So that's what I think. We are unlucky sometimes, bro. You know, we are unlucky sometimes. I know people who put in the 10 years and it didn't happen. So something I never want to run away from, and a lot of billionaires also say, not a lot, but this guy, Mark Cuban. Mark Cuban says that it's luck. If you take a lot of billionaires, you take away their money, start from the bottom, nah. They won't, not a lot would do that. Not a lot would get to the place that they are now. So it's luck. So basically, I'm just trying to find that luck. My 10 years are the 10 years of finding luck. That thing that's going to say, boom, let's get it. You understand? And it all works out. So yeah, that's how you should look at it.
My brother always said that you must always, learn, be able to do things.
Yeah.
And when the time is right, like when you actually eventually meet the right people, and they're like, hey, this that needs to happen, you're already prepared to take on that task, right? If, for example, I'll say maybe you've been working hard to lift boulders. Right? You've been lifting boulders, and they're like, you know what? This project, if you lift this boulder, 1 million on the spot, they'll give you. You've been doing it for so many years.
Exactly.
Like, sign me up.
This is what I do.
And I feel like we lack that sometimes. We don't build up. We don't have those skills. We're not able to spot, as you say, you can spot a person like, hey, when I know, I don't think you can. Is that the reason why you started your consultation company, to kind of help people, prepare themselves to be that person?
Yeah. One of the reasons. So, I believe in guidance a lot. That's why my network is such a huge part of who I am, right? I believe in guidance a lot. I believe in... So the thing with books, that's why I like reading, is that you get 10 years of experience in maybe 5 hours of reading, right? It's the same thing with consultation. And I run businesses. I build businesses from scratch. I make sure that they happen. I take them to a certain point. I'm still taking my business to a certain point. That gives me a much more in-depth analysis or in-depth knowledge of running a business than someone who hasn't run a business but maybe has a qualification. And I'm not saying anything bad about people with qualifications, dog. I'm just saying that there is power in experience.
Yeah.
You understand? There's power in experience.
I'm saying something bad about people with qualifications. If I have a qualification, right?
Yeah.
And I've always argued that qualifications, they train us to get a job.
True.
Right? They train us to be, do this, sit down at 8 a.m. You need to they don't really train us to be free thinkers. Not to say don't get one. I have one, and I am a free thinker. But
what did you study, bro?
I studied IT.
IT,
Yeah.
great.
Yeah. IT. So I have one. At the end of the day, definitely you need a job. You need something to feed you, to put food on your plate. But at the same time, they don't necessarily allow us to grow, start businesses and whatnot. Yeah, you can have the knowledge of all of that, but business is not only, I can program.
There's a lot of aspects to it. That's true. That's true. Yeah. You're right. I didn't want to say anything bad, but now you started. It's you.
It's honesty. It's true. Yeah, must run a honest platform, and I'm just being honest. It's just how it is,
No, you're right. I also... it's crazy, bro. You're speaking to my story, I have a law degree, studied 4 years, craziest 4 years of my life. Tormenting, bro. It was a torment. Do you understand? Just getting through it was a torment. But it's crazy. So fine, got through my degree, right? And then after my degree, I decided I'm good. This is where it ends. So with law, you have to do your 4 years and get your degree.
Studied law.
Yeah. Crazy, right? You have to do your 4 years with your degree. Then you have to do 2 years of articles. And then you can, you write a bar. I don't know. There's the bar, I think. And then you become a lawyer. So I'm not going to do that. Right. And after that, not my mother, not my sister, my extended family, I want to say, went bunkers. Right. They went bunkers because, bro,
why did you do that?
exactly. Finish it. Because I'm Nigerian as well. So now my family in Nigeria also is like, this is how it's supposed to be done. Do it. Yes, your aunties and your uncles. So, but I've realized that in entrepreneurship, dog, I don't say I have a better chance of winning. I'm saying that I'm going to win, and I'm going to win my way. And the problem is that everyone is now used to the whole go to school, get a job, die life, and I would say, I don't want that life, bro. Yeah. I want a different life. I don't want a wife and 2.5 kids. I want to be different, and the whole
waiting for your pension.
Exactly. Imagine, bro. Yeah. So that's not the life that I want to live. I know that I can do much more. And I know that for me, and these things are different for everyone. For me, I don't think a job can get me there. I don't think a job can get me to where I want. I want to be rich. It's not play, bro. I want the money. Yeah, you understand?
That's just the truth. Unless you're gonna become a CEO, of some big corporate company, you're never gonna really get that type of money.
And it's hard to get there without 20 years of experience. Yeah. You understand? So,
and it's 20 years of experience that's not guaranteed.
Exactly. You understand? So it's also just that. I'd rather just build mine. I'd rather have my wealth now than when I'm 80. I don't want to wait for a pension. Because I want to retire at 35. Okay. All of this gotta end, bro. Whatever I didn't do before 35, I'm good, So that's the work. But my point is, I forgot the question, bro. What was the question again?
Well, the question was the reason why you started the consultation.
The consultation. Yes. So it is to help people up. It is. So the reason I started is to help people up. It is to give people access to the experience that I took 10 years to do it. You don't have to take 10 years to do it. I have 3 mentors, right? And all of them have more than 20 years of experience. Dog, that means I have 60 years of experience at my disposal. That's how I look at it. When people come to my Keynote class, now they have my 10 years of experience and 60 years of experience of my mentors. You understand? Plus all the mentors that I've already had. It's an accumulation of experience, bro. That's why I started at Keynote class. Come and get access to that, And that's just it. Yeah.
Okay. So when you walked in here, I was quite impressed. Besides you being late,
which never happens.
I was also surprised. I'm like, you don't strike me as someone who'd be late, but I understood. It was like a 2-hour drive, but it's fine. But when you walked in, the first thing I noticed is your handshake. It was very firm and very. I was like, oh, okay. And like even your body language, right? You were upright, handshake, Chidi. I was like, okay, I was impressed. I was like, it made sense of like the thing that you do. Someone who would do what you do with the keynote speaker, motivational speaker, an entrepreneur, you would have such a handshake, right?
Yeah.
I don't know where I'm going with this, right?
It's
I'm actually gonna jump into something that I saw. I was watching. I don't know if you watch Wolf of Wall Street.
Yes.
Yeah. So the last part.
Yes.
Is Jordan Belfort, right?
Yeah.
He took out his pen and he's like, "Sell me this pen." So just to end off this as well, I'd like to do the same to you. Can you sell me this pen? Just to show your, sales coaching skills.
Okay, we're gonna get to that.
Okay.
Firstly, I just want to also just put out, speak about this because I think it's important. The handshake chat, right? There are deals that I have closed just with a handshake because it's firm. In there are spaces where that says a lot about you.
It does.
Yeah, it does. And when we are in these small spaces, the problem is that we don't value that, bro. You know, there's a lot of guys, a lot of my friends, a lot of like Majita that I see. I always have to reinforce that. Dog, your handshake has to be firm. Look me in the eye straight. You understand? Those things are the important things. Then to sell you this pen, I want you to imagine that you're about to close a $10 million deal. You travel 2 hours like I did, right? And you get into the room, get into the space. You have a firm handshake. Your suit is proper. Your suit and ties, everything is proper. You smell good. It looks fresh. And you enter, right? And you're meeting with the CEO. CEO of, let's say you're meeting with the CEO of YouTube, right? And he wants to help you sign a $10 million deal. $1 million deal. He sees that you look good. He in fact, he stops you between your pitch. He says, you know what? Stop. I'm giving you this deal now. He looks into his pocket. He searches for a pen. He says, I don't have a pen, but I need to go now. And I don't think we can be able to do this deal after this. Do you have a pen? You say no. This is why I'm here. To show you that even in the greatest moments where you think that you have everything, when you think that you can conquer the world, sometimes the only thing you'll need is a pen. That's why I have my business. It's only $10. Wouldn't you buy? Come on, dog. Close my deal, dog. Exactly, close my deal. Exactly. Yeah, that's it.
That was wow. That is probably the most epic way to close this episode. So let me not ruin it with talking too much. But thanks for coming.
It's a pleasure, man. It's an honor. Yo.
Thanks for watching, guys. Just make sure to check him out. I'll put all his social media and everything, information of his on the description. Check him out. Yeah, if you need some consultation, check him out.
Definitely.
For sure. I can definitely tell you that, he knows what he's talking about.
And if you have an event, I'm a great speaker.
Yeah,
and
also
I'd love
a great
to
speaker as well.
Hit me up. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyways, guys, make sure to like, subscribe, and do all the good YouTube stuff. Yeah.
Thanks, man. That's great.
Yeah.
That's appreciated. Speak good.